Welcome to my nightmare. Now, on February 5th, I had the good fortune to see Jesse Cook in concert. And of course, he plays a flamenco style electric, not electric actually, it's an amplified acoustic like a classical or flamenco guitar with nylon strings. He has an ensemble. He has another guitarist that plays with him that's also world class. So I not only enjoy the music, but I set out to find out what's he do, that sounds so good that maybe I could glean from. And the first thing was I was at a loss as to how to play the classical guitar standing up. After my hernia surgery, I couldn't assume the sitting position where you're kind of scrunched up like this with the knee raised to stabilize the guitar. So I had this sling like Steve Howe from Yes uses when he does his classical guitar solo. Looks like this. Okay, now this, you can see the guitar center is balanced right here, so it's kind of a pain to stabilize the instrument. So I got kind of used to that, but when I saw Jesse, I thought, well, what does he do? And it went like this. His guitar slung like an electric guitar, so you can see the strap lock here. Now you wouldn't want to screw one of these into a real fine classical guitar. This is not a bad guitar, but it's utilitarian, so I went ahead and tried it. And I made the commitment. And lo and behold, this is as stable as the seated position. Now the other thing he had that flamenco guitarists use is the tapping plate. You might be able to see the clear plastic that's fixed right there. So I had that put on at the same time as the strap lock. So that's the second part of what I got from his show. And then next we'll delve into the sound. All right, here we have my guitar amp, and I'm going into this with what you'd call a dry signal. So it's the guitar going straight in. Okay, now that's kind of nice because it's a little louder than acoustic, but you also can tweak the sound a little bit with the tone controls, and I've tried to leave it pretty flat. Now, let's add a little dimension to it, like so. Now, here's this little pedal right here. Zoom in on that. That's reverb, so we'll make it sound like we're in a room that's pretty big. Now that gives it that surfy sound like the Ventures or Dick Dale. So we're getting close. Now we're giving my acoustic guitar sound a pretty good little dimension here. Let's just add a little bit more. This is what Jesse did. You can get that there's a little bit of echo or a delay, and that's one of these buttons right there. So now you have it. Now I have just about exactly the sound that Jesse had, just through some effects, which, what I say all the time is the quality of sound is way more important than the musical content. Now, thanks for bearing with me on that Tragical Instrument tour, because you saw the state of my living conditions. You can understand why I'm single. When I was married, all the instruments were down in the basement. As soon as my wife and I divorced and she was out of the house, all the instruments came up to the living room. So anyway, now that you've seen the tour of what makes the sound, then let's have a little demonstration. much for listening.